my reading grade level was way lower than what it should have been.
Sure.
And that was causing a lot of frustration for me because I was reading little 2-3 letter words and all my friends are like reading chapter books. This is not
how
fair.
It's supposed to be.
I've always been a stubborn, strong-willed individual. That didn't really go well. I was like, what, you want me to do what now? You want me to read with my fingers? That's not how people read. She's like, we can do genetic testing. I was really glad that she gave me that choice because like just to know finally like a weight had been lifted off my shoulder. I've just always loved singing. People have always told me, oh, you're such a good singer, even though I'm a troublemaking alto. But I was at an NFB meeting. Our beloved Terry Walker was there. He made an appeal. He was like, yeah, everybody needs to come join the Lighthouse Choir. And I was like, the Lighthouse Choir? But honestly, choir practice is one of the highlights of my week. I really love it.
A green tinted screen and Braille lettering pops up that turns into the white Lighthouse of Houston logo. The Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential cover art pops up on screen. There's a flash, then clips of Jennifer's eye, her walking down the hall, and reading Braille appear. A montage of clips from episodes of the podcast begins with Jennifer talking to our guests and smiling. It zooms in on the Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential cover art.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential. I am your hostie with the mostie, Jennifer Parrish, and today we have another really awesome episode for you guys. My little pal over here, Miss Alissa Jennings, welcome.
Thank you.
Alissa is a skilled massage therapist, dedicated member of the Houston Lighthouse Choir, and a former Lighthouse of Houston client. So Alissa is going to share her story of vision loss, her career path, and the support that she received from the Lighthouse of Houston programs and the choir. Before we get started today, guys, we're going to, as always, describe our set for our blind viewers. We are sitting in blue chairs with wooden tables next to us. We have a white brick background, blue lights, and a neon lighthouse sign. So anyways, welcome, AJ. I call her AJ. She's Alissa Jennings. This is AJ. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Can you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and your vision loss journey?
So it's kind of like a long situation. So my sister is also visually impaired, and her and I did a lot of the Lighthouse things together as children. Mm-hmm. She has a different condition. So she's 5 years older than me, and she already had like her eye doctor established and everything when I came along. Mm-hmm. And at first my mom was like, oh, she's not visually impaired, because I would track her. I would like look at her when she spoke to me and stuff.
Sure.
Then I started walking, and that's when we kind of figured it out, because I would run into the walls and there were bruises, and my mom's like, somebody's going to think I'm beating my child.
Right. CPS is coming.
Yeah. So she's like, maybe I should take her to the eye doctor. So she takes me, and they're like, yeah, she can't see. Right. And I actually have a genetic condition that is slowly progressive.
But your sister's is different?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. She was born premature, so she has run.
ROP.
Yeah. Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so as a child, like I was like 6, I think, like first grade, and they started teaching me Braille, and up to that point I had used like CCTV, just write things bigger so I could read them, and it was like, what, you want me to learn this what?
Yeah.
And like I've always been a stubborn, strong-willed individual, so that didn't really go well at first.
And you were 6 at this point, and you were just
6.
like, no way.
I was like, what, you want me to do what now?
Yeah.
You want me to read with my fingers? That's not how people read. Like, I had no clue what was going on.
Yeah.
And then, like, as I got older, I was like, yo, I can't see.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I guess. But it took me until like 4th grade to really like accept Braille. And because I was taking so long to accept it, my reading grade level was way lower than what it should have been.
Sure.
And that was causing a lot of frustration for me, because I was, reading little, 2-3 letter words, and all my friends are like reading chapter books. And I'm like, this is not like
how
fair.
It's supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
And you were cognitively aware that this is like not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like really when I was like in middle school is when I felt like my reading was actually starting to improve.
And you were using Braille at this point.
Yeah, and I was fully Braille at that point.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Even up until like 4th grade, I was like trying to force it. I would like make the CCTV like as big
Like
as I could
huge,
possibly
one
get
letter
it.
at a time.
Exactly.
Like, bro, you're gonna get a headache doing that.
Legitimately, that was what it was. It was like 1, maybe 2 letters on the screen at a time because I was so stubborn. I was like, no.
Right.
And it's just slowly gotten worse as I've gotten older, and I'm 30 now, and I just like at this point I feel like all I have left is just light perception. I can see color sometimes.
Yeah. Can you see the bright lights in front of you?
Yes, I can see the bright lights.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all I'm getting.
Right.
So,
Got it. And what is the genetic condition, if you don't mind me asking?
I have Leber's. It's congenital.
Okay. This is a new
Leber
one for
something.
me.
Yeah. I don't even know how to spell it, honestly.
Got it.
I recently, like, because I'd always been told I had different things growing up, and I was just like,
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
yeah. So I was like, I legitimately want to know. So last year I had to pay out of pocket to go to Baylor College of Medicine, which I highly recommend, by the way.
Absolutely.
Shout
out to BCM.
Yes, they have a wonderful ophthalmology department, and I saw a doctor there, and I explained to her what was going on, how long I've been having, whatever symptoms I have, and she's like, "Yeah, you have congenital Lebers. This is a thing," and I'm like, "Okay, cool," and she's like, "Now I'm 99.99999% sure you have this thing." She's like, "But if you want to make absolutely 100% certain," she's like, "we can do genetic testing." And I was really glad that she gave me that choice, because like, just to know finally, like definitively, like this is what you have is like, I don't know. It honestly felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders.
Oh, yeah, exactly. When they finally tell you what the dealio, rather than guessing or no diagnosis, and you just think you're crazy. And so,
well, I never really felt like crazy, but
Yeah.
it was like, people would ask me like, oh, like all my other blind and visually impaired friends be like, oh, well, what do you have?
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it just always made me feel like, I guess, for lack of a better term, like foolish. I'm like,
Yeah.
who the hell doesn't know
What's wrong with them?
What they have?
Actually, I can absolutely relate to this. They don't know what's wrong with me either. Like, I was just born this way. And my left eye is underdeveloped. I have keratoconus in my right eye. But it's just, nobody knows why, and nobody's calling it a disease. Here I am, and I have this thing. So, I get it. And people would like, right, all your blind friends are like, I have, like
XYZ.
XYZW, all
And
this.
you're
And
just
I'm
over
like,
here in the corner like,
this is my condition. So I just explained what my eyes did.
Right.
But that's cool that you finally got an answer. That's very awesome. So through school, so you graduated high school and then
2013.
2013. Okay. And then what about after that?
So I kind of drifted around
Sure.
as far as like not really knowing like I knew from like, because I have a lot of friends, and I know that when you're visually impaired, there's choices out there, there's things you can do, but it was hard for me to figure out what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And from a very young age, it was like a running joke in the family. My grandpa used to always massage my grandma's feet, and he would say that he had the softest hands in the world and she had the softest feet.
Oh.
And I think I was probably about 6, maybe 7. My grandpa was like, you know what? She's got grandkids. We're going to make them take over the foot massage responsibilities. And I was like, I'll do it. I don't even know why, but I volunteered.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay. And so, and my grandma was always like, oh, this feels so good.
Aww.
And then my grandpa would be like, well, now massage my hands.
Yeah.
And so that was like kind of how I got into massage therapy, but I never really gave it thought when I
Right.
got older. I was like, whatever, that's just a fond memory of me and my grandparents, whatever.
Yeah.
But then I would like massage like a friend's shoulders or something. And one day somebody told me, they were like, you should really go to school for that.
Yeah.
And I actually started school back in 2016, but I wasn't able to finish at the time because some other things came up. And it was always there in the back of my head. Like, I really enjoyed school. I was doing well in 2016. I had like all A's and a B, and I was getting it.
Yeah.
But I didn't finish, and I was like, I'm whatever. It's fine. And then in 2017, I got with I started dating the guy that is now my husband. He's visually impaired too, by the way. But anyways.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Sighted or blind husband.
Yeah, we went to high school together, but that's, anyways.
Yeah.
So we started dating, and I actually ended up moving in with him, and we lived in the middle of nowhere. And so there was zero transportation out there. There's no paratransit, no Metro Lift, no Uber, no Lyft, no nothing.
Right.
And so I was just there, and it's a big farm type property. So I did what I could to help out. I got really good at hooking up the hay equipment to the tractors.
So this is legit farm.
Yeah,
okay.
This is legit farm.
Wow.
And so that was me. I was a farmer's girlfriend, and then I was a farmer's fiance, and now I'm a farmer's wife, and I'm okay with it. I love it. I love my husband. Love you, babe, because you better be listening to this.
Shout out.
Yeah. And then when my father-in-law unfortunately passed away on Christmas Day, because only he would do that.
Oh my gosh.
In 2021, my husband and I inherited, everything.
Yeah.
So, with some of the money, my husband was very kind, and he bought us a house down here in Houston.
Nice.
He,
just realizing that you guys needed some more.
well, just realizing that I specifically, and he did it. He did it for me, and for that I will always be grateful.
Wow.
He bought the house down here. He remodeled it, because it was completely gutted when we bought it. So we remodeled everything from the floor up,
Nice.
everything.
Wow.
And I was like, this isn't fair. You're paying for the bills down here in Houston. You're paying for the bills up there on the farm. I'm like, this isn't fair. I said, I need to do something. And so I started looking for a job. And as all visually impaired people will tell you, that was not easy.
Nope.
And you weren't finding nothing.
No.
And one day, I don't even remember how the conversation came up. He asked me, he said, would you want to go back to massage school?
Yeah.
And I said, well, I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'll pay for it.
Nice.
And so I said, well, let me find a school that I like and that likes me. And the first school that I found that I really liked, I was like, man, this is it. Then I found out they were outside the Metro Lift service area.
Of course they were.
Yeah. So I was like, no, this is not, that's not going to work. Because I looked. Because I'm, like I said before, I'm a stubborn person. So I was like, I'm going to make this work. I looked on Uber, I think it was, or Lyft, or I might have actually looked at both. And it was going to be outrageously expensive.
Yeah.
To get back and forth every day. And I was like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Never mind. The second school I found, I thought it was going to be a good fit. It wasn't far from the house. It wasn't bad. And the director of that school said that he didn't think I would be able to keep up with the coursework because of my visual impairment. I was so unbelievably pissed off. I was basically just like, F you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, legit. That's awful.
Yeah, and ever since, and then I found the third school, and I rocked it.
Yeah, of course.
My final grade was a 91 or something.
Nice.
And ever since I got my license, I kind of want to go back over to that school, take my license, and slap the dude in the face with it.
Yeah.
Because that's just you know
don't tell me no.
Yeah, don't tell me no, but also it made me doubt myself for a little bit there. I was like, yo, can I handle this?
Yeah.
And my husband's over there in the corner, babe, you got this. You got this. And I'm like, do I got this though? And he's like, he wanted to go punch the guy in the face because he's like, how dare you make my wife doubt herself?
Exactly.
So.
And then, so when you went to school, so how did technology kind of play a role? Did you do how did you do your courses?
So my school was amazing.
Yeah.
Another shout out, Phoenix School of Massage.
There you go.
They were really amazing about making sure that I had whatever I needed. They got me access to an e-reader for textbooks, and I could just kind of read them off my phone. I had an app on my phone. So
That's
that was
awesome.
It was amazing. I was like, this
Holy
school is awesome. All my
crap.
tests I was able to do on my phone.
So you were able to like, okay, so now I always go back to my experience in college. I don't have a bachelor's degree. I quit because it made me nuts. So in the I'm old, right? So in the 90s, we had books on tape. And it was
Yeah.
like a 4-track. I don't know if you're familiar with that because you're a young little lady, but it
Hey,
was all
look,
turn to page 50, whatever.
I had the big bulky tape player from the state too.
Yes.
So I
Okay.
got
so
you.
already
I got
know. You
Yeah.
already know. And I'm like, dude. Like, and they were like, so how does the e-reader work? Can you just go right to that exact page? Was there like a little combo box thing?
There
and you
was
flip?
there was a search button and you could type in the
Oh,
page
thank
number.
God.
It was beautiful and amazing. Technology is so phenomenal. Nowadays.
Yes.
And I could just I would be on Metro going home and
And you could read.
and I could read, or I could even and I did it several times because I was like, I don't want to have to do this when I get home.
Right.
Because all of our tests were online too. I would take my tests on the way home from school because I'd be on Metro for y'all. You know how it is. It's like an hour,
Yo.
if that.
Yeah.
Sometimes more. So
Yeah.
I would take my tests on the
commute.
Yeah, I was like, no, I don't want to do this when I get home. I want to eat and go to bed because I
Hell
was
yeah.
tired.
Exactly. Like I'm not trying to do homework. No,
Exactly.
I totally get it. That is really awesome. Obviously it was multiple choice or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
it was. They were all multiple.
You're
choice.
not writing essays, so
And
you
then,
could do it easy.
Well, the one time we had to write an essay
Uh-huh.
was it was for the admissions process, and
Oh,
it was
right, for
literally
sure.
just 200 words describing why you want to be a massage therapist.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
Part of the whole my husband paying for me to go to massage school, he also paid for a note-taking device for me that I was able to use to take all my notes in school and everything, and so I didn't have to carry my laptop back and forth because he
Right.
bought me one of those little tiny 20-cell Braille displays, and I could just pop it in my backpack and I'd be fine.
That's
know.
so awesome.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Wow,
Just
man.
saying.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's very, very cool. So obstacles other than what we discussed before. What kind of obstacles did you run into, kind of going to school and things like that?
Going to school, I don't think I had very many. Other than transportation sometimes.
Right.
There were days where class technically started at 9 a.m. And because I know how Metro Lift is, I would tell them 8:30,
Yeah, of course.
8:45, something like that.
So you're sitting there at 8:15.
Yeah. Well, no, there were some days it was bad.
Yeah.
There were some days where I'd get there at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And people don't get there until closer to 9, and it's cold outside, and
And
my
the building's
fingers
locked.
and the building's locked. My fingers are going numb.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was bad some days, and then there were other days where one of the ladies, unfortunately she no longer works there, but she was one of the people in the front office, and she would go to Starbucks, and she'd be like, what do you want? And I would just Apple
that's
Pay
nice.
her
Yeah.
back. And so and then we'd do that for lunch sometimes. I'd be like, go get lunch, I'll pay you, whatever.
Right.
And so I don't really feel thankfully that I had very many obstacles other than Metro Lift and
Right.
and
so
then
people were cool when you got there.
yeah,
and
people were cool.
Your classmates and
my
stuff.
classmates were amazing. Of course, they were also the people who were like, oh my God, you're blind and you're going to school.
Yeah.
You're so amazing.
Oh, that whole thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Which
and-
is fine. it's it's better than that than them picking on you or whatever.
it was a very small class,
Yeah.
so it wasn't really. Now, the one thing I did, there was one guy.
Yeah.
Story time.
There's always one guy.
Yeah, literally only guy in the class. Okay, so it's 5 chicks,
Oh,
this
dude.
one dude. Okay, first of all, I just he was awkward.
Yeah.
You could tell he didn't have very much social
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
and he would always ask the weirdest questions. When we were taking business, his obsession was how to get out of paying taxes. I'm like, dude.
Okay, creepy guy. Time to go. Wow.
If we could have kicked him out, I'm pretty sure everyone in my class would have voted to be out,
right.
out,
That's
sir,
the
out.
wrong kind of massage, homie.
Something.
Oh my God.
I mean, he did ask one of my classmates if he could record himself giving her a foot massage.
Oh my God. All right, Bill
Yeah,
Cosby.
no.
No. That's disgusting.
Anyways.
Great.
So,
Wow.
He did one day. He asked me because my husband went to school with me one day because we were having like a potluck. And I was like, well, why the heck not? So he goes with me. The next day, the guy asks me, where is your seeing eye husband?
Oh, my. People are idiots. Anyways.
I swear I wanted to slap him that day. And then the one other day that he really like irked my nerves was during school. I actually found out that I have rosacea, which is a chronic inflammatory skin condition. And I had like a patch on my left cheek that was like worse than everywhere else. And so it was like really bumpy. And so we were working on like facial massage. And this fool starts like poking it, like literally with one finger, just poke, 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 poke. After class,
Wow.
After class that day, he goes, "Have you ever thought about changing your skincare routine?"
But wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was bad. I hated that guy, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm completely honest,
Yeah,
like, I
well.
hated that guy. But that was the only
Yeah.
thing that, and like sometimes, like he would just annoy me so much that I felt like, dude, like go away.
Go away.
Yeah.
Yep. Always one.
Yeah,
Always one.
Always one. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, so cool. So now you're a happy massage therapist. Where
Yes.
tell us where you work so we can give a plug.
Oh my God, yes. So
I still need to come see you too.
You do. You
Yes.
totally do. So, real quick, just wrap up my school journey. So
Oh,
I,
yes.
I
Sorry.
finished
Go ahead.
school in February of 2024.
Yep.
It took a while to get all the paperwork straightened out. With what I chose to do was take the Texas state test, which is a new thing. And in order to get my accommodations, I had to get a letter from my doctor just saying like she needs these accommodations and this is why.
Yes.
Was able to take the licensing exam. The first day that I had it scheduled for was actually the day after Hurricane Beryl hit.
Oh my gosh.
So it got pushed.
This was this past year. Yeah. Wow.
And so it got pushed to September. Because the way that it works when you have someone reading you the test is they have to book out the entire testing center.
Yeah.
And so I had to wait until September. I got licensed in September. I got my job in December, so I work at Massage Envy Tanglewood. We're
Okay.
located at the corner of Fountain View and San Felipe here in Houston. And they have been amazing. They're very accommodating. I love my job. I love my coworkers. They're all so nice. My supervisor is amazing. Hi, Jamie. All of our documentation is done on like iPads, and like pretty much everybody at the front desk knows how to turn voiceover on for me at this point.
Nice.
And then like they'll just let me like adjust the speed as I need to or whatever, which always, when you first turn voiceover on any Apple device, it's at like 50%, and that drives me insane.
Yes.
So I always speed it up to my preferred.
80.
Well, I do 70, but yeah.
Yeah.
If you got super ears like that, that's on you.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Usually it's from 70 to 80 that I see people roll with. Exactly.
Yeah. And then so like I just like I don't know, like it's just amazing.
To document, and I won't get too far into Massage Envy's secrets or whatever, but like, do you guys have to like, do you bring it like an external keyboard, or is it just like check boxes or like
mostly check boxes?
Got it.
The only thing is like we have to sign off on it, and that like I usually turn voiceover off, do probably a very sloppy AJ.
There you go. My JP looks like crap too. So listen, honey, writing is not my forte.
Right.
So there you go.
But the really good thing about Massage Envy that I just adore is that I told them like, hey, like this is an issue.
Yeah.
And then I told them like one other thing that I wish was different in the app, and they said that they're going to forward it to their IT people, and there's a app update due to come out later this year, and so they're working on that.
That's awesome.
And I'm just like, you
So they're
people love
listening.
me. Y'all listen to me. I love y'all. So yeah.
Way to go, Massage Envy. Way to go. That's incredible.
They're doing it right.
Keep on doing the do,
And
man.
I'm in the application process for a guide dog, and they're like, we support you.
Yeah.
Like whatever accommodations we got to make, we'll make them.
That's
like it's
awesome.
and like I just feel so incredibly blessed and that I get to work there. It's just like,
Yeah.
of all the other places, like, because I did some other interviews. But like of all the other places were like no, 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 and then the one place that's like yes, like I feel at home there and I love it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, so we're going to transition a little bit, and I heard that you were participating in events as a child. You were kind of a client here. What were those experiences, and how did they impact your life as a young person?
So it started. I was really young. I think I was like 5. Whatever the earliest they'll let you join the Lighthouse summer camp that was me.
Yeah.
My sister was also in it, like I said. So
Y'all know what year it was? I bet I was working here. Just curious.
Jesus. I guess like maybe 2000 or something.
Yep, that's when I started working here. Crazy.
But I we did so many different things, and I guess that was really my first introduction to like, oh, blind people can do anything.
Right, because you guys swim and
we would go swimming,
roller
we would
skate,
go to the
whatever.
zoo, we'd go, we started going to Kima Boardwalk a little bit later on. I remember like my first introduction to guide dogs was at summer camp. They had some people come in with some guide dogs. I don't remember what program they were from, but they came in and we got to pet the dogs. And of course, like I was in heaven because I've always loved dogs.
Yeah.
They used to have this guy come in that would like bring snakes and stuff, and I'd like run down the hall because I was terrified. We did swimming lessons here.
Yeah.
Those never really took for me for some reason. My sister's actually the one who taught me how to swim, but it was in the pool here, so
Nice.
I guess Lighthouse did have a hand in that.
Very good.
We also did the after school program.
Yeah.
Where somebody would come pick us up from school and bring us here, and we'd do homework and have snacks and do some fun little activity until our parents could come pick us up. And that was really fun too, because it was like for some of my friends, like that was the only time I got to see them. Same thing with summer camp.
Right.
One of my best friends, like that I grew up with, like that was the only time of year I got to see her was at Lighthouse summer camp, and I was like, oh, it's summer camp time. Yeah, let's go. I finally get to see her. And then we did like the beeping Easter egg hunt.
Yes. Yes.
I got way too good at those. My grandparents were like, you're not leaving any eggs for the other kids. I'm like, I don't care about those other kids. I want candy. Like,
right? Exactly. Exactly.
I remember we did the hay ride with
Cool.
the haunted house for Halloween a couple times.
Nice.
That
Very,
was
very
fun
nice.
and kind of terrifying, honestly. Very well done.
Yeah. Bravo. Bravo.
Exactly. But that's, I mean, it opened my eyes. It made me friends, and it gave me a lot of experiences that I feel like probably, I mean, my parents and my grandparents were never, oh, you're blind, sit down, you can't do it.
Right.
But I think that it gave them the confidence of like, oh, they get to go, because like my 2 little brothers, they went to the YMCA summer camp.
Right.
And so I feel like, maybe it was like they felt safe letting us do summer camp-y activities.
Yeah.
In an environment that was specifically designed for people with visual impairments.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, you're talking about, when you get to see your friends and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I mean, I went to summer camps like that at TSB.
I went to some of those too.
And,
so,
right.
yeah,
and you get to see your homies. It's like, oh, yes, it's camp time. Let's party. Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was good times. Yes. So that's important too, because I mean, like, I don't know about you, but I went to regular school.
Yeah, I did too.
And so, yeah, so those times and reconnecting with your blind friends, you know what I mean? Because you and I both went to regular school during the year. So,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of stripping off that stigma, you know what I mean? And it's like, everybody's the same. I don't have to like be this guy for the sighted students, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's all gone, and it's so awesome.
Yeah, like
you
all
know.
the kids who want to like see your Braille writer. And
Yeah,
all the-
or
and
watch out
then-
for that tree.
and there's-
that kid in high
or-
school.
Or the annoying ones that used to make me want to trip them with my cane. That would be like,
Yeah.
how many fingers am I
Oh
holding?
God,
up?
how
my
many fingers? You know what? I got a finger for you. Anyway.
I know, right?
Anyways, so all right, well, let's talk about the choir.
Okay.
So how, because you just joined like last year, right?
Yeah, September.
September of last year. So I know your kind of time with the choir has been short, but just tell us, why you think it's important, and to be a member of the choir, and what has it meant to you?
So I've been in choirs on and off like pretty much my entire life. I was in church children's choir, and then when I aged out of that, I was in the church adult choir, and I was in school choir in middle school and high school, and I've just always loved singing. People have always told me, "Oh, you're such a good singer."
Yeah,
and then I was at
you are too.
Thank you. Even though I'm a troublemaking alto, right?
We love you though.
But I was at an NFB meeting, and our beloved Terry Walker was there, and he made an appeal. He was like, "Yeah, everybody needs come join the Lighthouse Choir." And I was like, "The Lighthouse Choir?
Yeah.
Do what?
Do what?
And so I came the first time, and I was like, man, I really, that was fun. I liked it. It was really nice. And then a couple weeks later, you gave me the nickname AJ, and I was like, now I'm stuck.
Now you're stuck.
They gave me a nickname. Now I can't leave.
That's right.
But honestly, choir practice is one of the highlights of my week.
Yeah.
I really love it. I love getting to perform because it's been a while since I've gotten to perform.
Mm-hmm. It is fun.
And it meant a lot to me that, my family came to the Christmas concert.
Oh, did they? That's awesome. Yeah, I was out on leave during that. Yes.
Yes, we missed you. We're glad you're back. Okay.
I know, yes. Back.
But, I mean, I've never been in a choir before where it's,
everybody's visually impaired.
Yeah, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
To, everybody's great.
Yeah, everybody. It's fun. It's like a little family.
It is.
It's like a little family.
The way that Dr. Dan, my mom was even impressed with how Dr. Dan does how he does his snaps and his claps and everything.
Yeah.
And I was at first I was like, man, how is this gonna work?
Right.
Blind people, how is he gonna direct us?
We can't see your hands.
How is this gonna work?
Yeah.
Because I had never I knew before, when the Lighthouse Choir first started, I heard that it was starting, but I wasn't living in Houston at the time. So I was like, that sounds like fun. If I ever move back, I'll join. And then it just never happened until last year.
Yeah.
And I just love the amazing community, family vibes that it gives.
Yes.
And we always have so much fun.
Yes, we do. Yes,
Too much fun. Some people would probably...
Getting in trouble up in there. No, it's fun. We have a good time. And so, it's
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you joined. I was like, man, this girl's we're gonna have fun together.
Like I said, when you gave me that nickname, I was like, I'm stuck now.
Yeah,
I can't
exactly.
leave. That would be rude.
Stuck like Chuck, baby. All right, AJ. Well, do you have any final tips or advice for, people who are blind or low vision when it comes to following your dreams or, getting into the world and doing what you love?
Don't take no for an answer.
Boom.
Because if I would have taken that one no, then I wouldn't be a massage therapist. I probably would have been oh, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And never done it. But instead that just gave me the motivation that I needed to be yo, I'm going to do this.
Yep.
So
better than you.
Yeah. So just never take no for an answer, and supportive family, friends.
Yeah.
It means the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, your dedication to pursuing your career and enjoying life to the fullest, regardless of your vision loss, is very, very inspiring. So we appreciate you being here today, AJ.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. To our listeners, please follow and subscribe for more content if you like what you see here, because we really would like you to follow and subscribe. We hope that you found today's episode both fun and informative. Remember, you can find more episodes of Sightless Voices, Unleashing Potential, on our YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcasts. Also, your feedback and ideas for future episodes are always welcome, so send those our way too. Be sure to follow the Lighthouse of Houston for updates on social media, and always come and take a look at our website to learn more about any of the exciting programs and events that we're planning and all of our future events coming up. We have a lot of things coming in 2025, so you guys please check out our website. Until next time, stay strong and continue to break barriers.